So, what makes Peter such a compelling voice for our audience is his forward thinking approach in intellectual property that fuels advancements in high stakes fields like military tech and healthcare. So, healthcare and military tech often intersect, especially in areas like wearable devices for soldiers or telemedicine for remote operations.
So what we look at, it's a personal interest for me. If you look at the warfighter running through a desert, running up a mountain, running around, an area that's of particular interest to me is just exoskeletons. The structures outside the body that allow us as human beings to do things that normally we're not capable of doing. But in the military complex, you see things that are much more advanced to allow certain body parts to run faster, to protect them, wearable devices. And there's a potential, whether it be future robots or future warfare fighters, that are literally using this technology to get from one place to another in a much more rapid way rather than just relying on physical fitness of the individual warfighter. On the telemedicine side, what's exciting is we just need to have access to expertise and doctors, maybe in New York for individuals that have a traumatic brain injury in Afghanistan or Iraq, or around the world where maybe we don't have the best doctors, cannot be there on site for a difficult injury or trauma event. And then one of the companies I work with is dealing with blood clotting technology. It's actually being used in Ukraine, and we're trying to make it more of an international thing.
So investors are pouring billions into tech startups, many of which have dual use applications for military and then civilian purposes.
But purely from an IP standpoint, one of the things that we really look at is who owns the IP. We want to make sure that the company owns the IP, normally a C Corp in Delaware. And what we try to do is make sure that all the employees have basic employment agreements that are that state, among other things, that all the IP they generated at the companies is owned by the corporate entity itself. So what we try to do is really focus on who owns the IP and make sure that that ownership is ultimately assigned or owned by the corporate entity itself for valuation purposes. Yeah, it's a very basic question. It's something I've worked on a lot with large companies, with emerging growth companies, early stage companies that are pre-revenue, where the real value of the company is all based on its intellectual property. It's patents, it's trademarks, it's trade secrets, it's copyrights. It's an intangible asset that's very difficult to quantify, but it really is the heartbeat of every company.